Hello, this is Brenda Green, and I'd like to welcome you to Living in the Go. Today, I want to talk to you about payday loans, and for me, it's a big no, and I want to tell you why. The most obvious reason certainly is that with payday loans, it's the cost. Let me give you an example. If you, as a borrower, want to borrow $500, well, the interest on that $500 might be 75 bucks, and you think, well, that's not a lot, but that loan is supposed to be paid back in just 2 weeks. So that means that's 15% of the loan that you owe in 2 weeks. So if you had to pay that loan longer than the 2 weeks, so instead of it being 15%, let's say it took you a month to pay it back, that'd be 30%. If it took you 2 months, it could be 60% or 90%. You get my drift. It's the cost of the payday loans that bothers me more than anything. So let's really get into it. People with poor credit are natural clientele for the payday loans. The borrower can apply for a loan and not be at all concerned about his credit because if he has credit or bad credit, it doesn't matter. They will give you a loan. According to the Pew Charitable Trust, 12 million Americans take out payday loans each year. They spend about $9 billion on the loan fees alone. That's crazy. And should you be able to not pay that back, the lenders can do all kind of things to get their money from you. They send collectors, collector calls, they threaten you, they can do judgments on you. It's just terrible. So you don't want to get involved with those. What you want to do, which is another way, is to try to get advances maybe on your paycheck. If you work for a small business, maybe you can talk to your boss and say, if you can advance me some of my pay for next week if there's a dire emergency. You also want to be proactive and start creating savings accounts for emergencies. Start small, build up because things will happen. There's always going to be some credit builder loan that you can use as well. This is a way to build your credit. You may have heard about these. They loan you $1,000, but you don't have access to it. They actually put it into an account and then they draw money out each month to make a payment for you over the 12-month period. During that time, they actually report that to the credit bureau and it builds your credit score. So it's just something to think about. You only have to put interest into that account in order to pay the interest fees, but again, it boosts your credit score so that you don't have to deal with these payday loans. Again, so vicious. I hate them. You have no idea how much. So as always, I do have my beliefs. You are never able to pay the loans off in 2 weeks, and a typical payday loan is structured to be a 2-week loan that you pay back after you get your paycheck. But it never works out that way. Those loans are designed to trap you in this vicious cycle of debt. They know you can't pay in 2 weeks, and I think deep down you know you can't either. But what they do is they extend you, they finance more. And so it's this vicious cycle that never ends for you. You also need to ask the question to yourself, what happens if you don't pay? It doesn't just go away. They continue to tack on that interest. And some of these loans are tied to your checking accounts. And guess what? They'll just deduct the money from your checking account. So other bills will be, checks will bounce or whatever. So that's a possibility. Also, they'll report you to the credit bureau that you're delinquent if you don't pay. It goes into collections. Some of them can even sue you. It's just horrible. So it's something you don't even want to get involved in if you can avoid it. If you have to have a loan, I would say a short-term loan is always better than a payday loan because a short-term loan is for a longer amount of time. There's specific payments that you have to make. It's just easier to manage. And have you ever noticed that these type of businesses are always in the poor neighborhoods? You'll never find a payday loan place in Beverly Hills. But they set up shop to prey on people who have limited resources. That should be an indicator to you that it's a red flag. Try not to do it. And always assume that you will have an emergency. That's just the nature of life. Things break down, things go wrong. There's always going to be an emergency. That's the reason you need an emergency fund. So start now, save now. If it's $5 this week, it's $5 more than you had last week. But start saving now. So when that emergency hits, and it will, you'll have some money to throw against it and you won't have to go to that payday loan shop. So as always, I want to thank you for your time and your attention. Hopefully this is helpful for you. This is a passion project of mine. Certainly, if you've been following me, you know financial literacy is so important to me. I want to make sure that everyone has the knowledge that they need to be successful. If you like this video, if it was helpful in any way, please hit the like button. Share it, subscribe. Until the next time, thank you again and have a great day.